This video I am going to dedicate Ursula von der Leyen. I am very precise about the stuff that I do. I am sure this came as a quite a surprise to many right now. The name that I called out, Ursula von der Leyen, that's the European Union Commission. The video is about my father, and yes, I don't like to lay out things unless they are, you know what I mean? This is like signature video. I don't talk about the people like this unless it's a done deal. 2 days ago I visited father and I had a productive stay at father. We exercised. Father complained about being thirsty. Drink, thirsty, dehydrated. Father earlier complained about not having sleep, rest. I think father is all beaten up also. I don't think it's easy for him. The latest, if I give you a little reminder about the stuff I'm talking about. Visit to father, that was a September the 3rd. That was this one here. This was a visit to the father. And I'm sure that you know who Ursula von der Leyen is. He complained about being thirsty. He complained about not getting enough liquid. Well, the nursing staff at home for elderly people, they complained to me about father pooping in diapers all the time if they give him a liquid. I had nursing staff crying to me that they have to keep changing him at diapers if they, in my opinion, is properly hydrate one. So we go to these old issues that it's very often done. If you have relatives at home for elderly people, make sure that, or at home, make sure that older people that get enough sufficient amount of drink of the liquid. It's very important for them to have the liquid. When older people go to the hospitals, the main reason when it comes to killing people, literally killing people, is through dehydration issues. I've seen a person who was dehydrated to death. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I myself was dehydrated when thrown in a hospital very badly when I was a child. And when I was delivered to home for elderly people, one of the torture procedures they would also use would be a total dehydration. We're talking about the same room where my father is now. Back to Ursula von der Leyen. Before I'm going to explain to you what the problem is today. Today my mom called me and talked sick shit that reminded all too much on MKUltra issues about how I shouldn't even come to the father because father doesn't feel good with the stomach. In fact, they gave him odvayalo svechka. That's basically like a candle stuff for digestion, so that he could empty his bowel, his intestines. I'm sure that you know who Ursula von der Leyen is. I am addressing you personally. This is an individual that you see right here. She's very busy with the war, with the Russian war on Ukraine. I'm not saying that she is not productive. This is not what I'm saying. I am just saying that she is extremely unsuitable candidate for the job. Well, obviously that if you did not resolve the problem like mine on time, and yes, you did have Ursula von der Leyen, you have all the cards on the table, and you had other people pressuring you to stop this stuff in 2018. 2016, Yet you would not even want to stop in 2018 when the proofs came out. You continue to enforce this, and you demanded from me to go on basically like a stray dog, like a homeless dog basically. After you use me, boof, go and do whatever the fuck you know, pleases you basically is what I got from you. You, however, visited Home for Elderly People, Ursula von der Leyen, and you did spoke also to this lady here. This is a social worker from Home for Elderly People. You visited this place, you spoke to the people at Home for Elderly People, and it was not on one occasion, it was on several occasions that I found you there at Home for Elderly People. You alone suggested me to write a letter to anti-torture, to European Anti-Torture Committee, whom I, by the way, already have contacted, in respect to corruption in which they alone became involved in crime against me before they even became renamed, changed their name into the Anti-Torture Committee for the European Union, for the Europe. They were involved since my childhood. I already dedicated a video to that stuff. You told me not only about yourself, you told me, but you also have to write them a letter in respect to your father. You should write him a letter in respect to your father. You said that you spoke to these people from Home for Elderly People. This is extremely, extremely, extremely disturbing stuff. Anybody watching this program, I'm sure you understand that this have gone far too far. If you elect an individual like this to run affairs concerning the war in Ukraine and in Russia, you have to be out of your fucking mind. If you actually side with Ukraine and you elect official like this, you gotta be out of your fucking mind, regardless of how much that individual is concerned or have participated in this so-called negotiation between Russia and Ukraine. Regardless of it. Totally regardless of it. Because you're taking away from Ukraine something that eventually could benefit Ukraine. With another stable individual, we would not have this program today. And because the problem I'm talking about, discussing this particular problem, it would not even exist. In fact, my case would have finished already in 2016. Yet Ursula von der Leyen did not want to end this case. So those of you who elected Ursula von der Leyen, you counted on getting me killed. Then, things are really bad in Ukraine. Ukrainian people probably are asking, watching this program, Ukrainian people must be asking, what the fuck are they fighting for? Because I am on that other green side of the border. I am inside of the European Union. I am American citizen. Since 2001. Since 2000, 2000. Slovenian and American citizen. It's not about even if you wanted to help Ukraine, but it is about European affairs, about how Europe looks in front of the world. I mean, the obstacle is not, the only obstacle is not Russia alone. There is other countries that are implicated in this war. And you are not a bright example of all this as a European Union commissioner, as somebody who walks on a stage and talks about Ukraine and this and that and so on, and you know. So the people who elected you either counted on getting me killed, which is definitely true, and or in case I wouldn't be killed, basically to give you a sufficient immunity based on your contribution to Ukraine. And somehow we found ourselves on the same side of the table when it comes to Ukraine, right? Political affairs. That's how you give the immunity to the politicians, like this. And this is how you create the saints and insanes inside of the European Union, inside of the NATO. Ursula von der Leyen was on several occasions inside a home for elderly people. Ursula von der Leyen gestured me not only for myself, for my sake, due to my case to apply at Anti-Torture Committee. Let me present you, let me demonstrate you the Anti-Torture Committee. That's an Anti-Torture Committee right here, for Committee for Prevention of Torture. That would be this stuff here, I suppose. Prevention of Torture and Inhumane Degrading Treatment, CPT. But also apply for the sake of my father. So Ursula von der Leyen, are we now killing my father so that you can make a commercial, so you can make a propaganda for Committee for Prevention of the Torture? And in case that this is not what we are doing, then what exactly are we doing with this stuff? Because we continue to play this game, see nothing, hear nothing, know nothing, despite crazy stuff about the stuff that went on. Such an overwhelming amount of proofs, depiction about your politicians that wandered in this house. Today I post about the Queen Elizabeth, how she backed me. Prince Charles, who repeated himself, can't we be friends somehow in respect to Putin? Watch the video about the Putin torture. The video which I posted today. I don't want to mix the two videos, but it's excellent stuff that I posted today again. Truly groundbreaking stuff. This kind of stuff here. How Putin tortured in Slovenia. Complete detail about the stuff, how not only Putin, but also about the Prince Charles, now King Charles, Queen Elizabeth, their affairs and how they looked at that stuff. I'm not going to go too far because it's going to be one more video I'm going to dedicate to this stuff so that you get to know who Charles is in the details. Everything about the royal family, how difficult this stuff was for me. You still don't know. What I know about the father as of today, and it's extremely insane. This was a very, very pleasant interaction with the father. We started to exercise again. Every time when I miss days with the father, it's difficult to get him up again and go and do this stuff. This is pertaining to MK Ultra. My mother depicting herself right here at this fence right here that you see. It wasn't about only my mother holding herself at the stomach and so on. But it was about my mother grabbing herself for a fence. It is had multiple scenarios and have judged me. It's going to be a psychiatric pills for me and the fence. I'm going to find myself behind the fence with the psychiatric pills. My mother insisted during MK Ultra that upon my departure to Poland within the first few months of 2020, therefore, she had a surgery for whatever. That's at least when they brought me back to, when they hijacked me to Slovenia from Poland. Sorry, in 2018 is when I came to the Poland. In 2018, mother insisted that within the first few months when I departed to Poland, in 2018, she already have undergone the surgery I have spoken about here, right here above. That's what she claimed me during MK Ultra. Did she really undergone the surgery? I do not know. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no how to know. They are playing with the medical files. They are doing the stuff that is crazy. I did explain on the blog. I do not know. They hijacked me from Poland and they claim in 2018 that within the first few months, mother already have undergone the surgery. Because it was a life-threatening situation for her. Okay? Did she undergone the surgery? No, I don't know. All I know is exactly what I explained to you, what mother did over there. And she suggested that I'm mentally ill. Right there, standing next to the fence. She does this very often, by the way. I'm mentally ill all the time, you know. Not that I would get used to it, but knowing her, I know exactly who I deal with. She's not the only one who's doing this stuff. It's entire police department, Ljubljana politicians, and also you, American, British, Illuminatis from Germany, and so on. Quite a disgrace you are. Disgusting people. I didn't finish. I didn't even go and comment on this stuff here. I didn't even go and comment on this stuff. They have multiple scenarios for all the incidents in the future that would take place at Home for Elderly People, where I would go to help father to rehabilitate. This is very good description about the stuff that went on during MK Ultra, degradation-wise, all kinds of stuff they did to me. Using mother to threaten how she's gonna die and so on. Totally insane stuff. When I was about to go to the father today, I had a phone call. Simply, I received a phone call from my mom, and you're gonna get below. You're gonna get a. I'm gonna give you a audio, which I'm gonna go and translate it, get it translated for you. And another thing that I'm gonna do for you is, you're also gonna get the video right down below, which is, it should be this video right here. Visit the father on September the 5th. September the 4th. That was yesterday, but not today, because today my mother called me and she said, don't come to visit father because father doesn't feel good. And the thing, you see, the thing is that I knew that father is not going to feel good. I knew that father is not going to feel good. Father felt very good the day yesterday. You see, today is already, now it's already September the 6th, 2026. Okay. So yeah, now technically it's 25 minutes after midnight. We are talking about Thursday, September the 4th, 2025. That's now practically, technically 2 days ago, but really it's 1 day ago. It just took me a while to put this video, to get to this video. You were able to see that I post some very significant videos today on the internet in respect to my case. And so what exactly is the issue with this stuff here? You're going to see on the video from September the 4th, 2025, which I'm going to list below, that father was very productive with me, that he was very happy with my visit. We were exercising. I was basically reviving him. And I cannot accent the importance of getting my father hydrated, because he is classic dehydrated individual. He is sleepy. He has a lack of quality of sleep. Medications, Josie. My mother keeps loading him with a coffee. We did have arguments about coffee. Just 2 days ago, when I visited the father, we had arguments about the coffee. I was begging not to give the coffee. Father likes the coffee because it's a little sweet, different taste. No wonder. But coffee is really not good, and physicians told me the coffee is really bad. The physicians also told me something else. It was one particular physician with a few extra kilos that I have spoken about, told me, don't give your father anything to drink. Well, the thing is, it's difficult not to give my father a drink. When the man tells you that he is dehydrated, and I have no overview, any kind of information that would guarantee me to know absolutely anything about what goes on with my father other than being loaded with the medications. Seeing him like this, drowsy, completely on a mogul, without strength, completely falling into oblivion in front of me. It's very, very difficult for me not to give my father a little bit of the water, since liquid, since my father alone likes to drink liquid. He likes to drink during the exercise, When we do, my father doesn't mind to drink liquid. My father doesn't mind to drink liquid at all. Let me remind you, it was a summer. Now it's September, it's still hot. But the thing is that I am disturbed that the nurses have a problem changing my father's diapers. Because my health to my father is more important than a fucking diapers. You understand me what I'm saying? I'm disturbed that that Robert Golub, a politician, Ljubljana politician, guaranteed me with Milan Kučan he had a good time laughing when they got my father into home for elderly people, when they hospitalized him over and over again or using him for torture purposes. When he got older, he completely lost control over him. They were doing with him whatever they wanted. And they were using his poor corpse, his poor body, for this individual to have diarrhea ongoingly leaking out of him like an animal. They were mistreating him. They were killing him inside of this home for elderly people. I'm disturbed that I have my father at such a location like this, of which I have no overview about what kind of medication he gets, how much liquid he gets, and even the verbal stuff that I got from the people that work over there, that they are tired of changing the diapers to the father. This is disgusting. So when my mother told me today, don't go to visit the father because they give him a candle, imagine this shit, to get his digestion going, so he could do his poop. I wasn't happy about it because it's a shit that repeats. And yesterday when I visited the father, I did make a little mistake. And because of that little mistake that I made, I knew the father is going to get punished severely. And what kind of mistake have I done yesterday? Well, yesterday the mistake that I have done with the father is, you're going to see the video is right down below. This is the video you're going to get.
Stuff.
Mother gives him to drink. You see, she keeps giving him a drink, just like I gave him later. And the problem is that how can I explain to you this stuff? Okay, let me demonstrate you this with the spoons. It's like this. And it was also the issue that wandered all the way to the Slovenian court where I was. These are two spoons. One is a really small teaspoon, really, really, really small. This is a pencil or a pen, let's say. And this is a spoon. It's really, really small. It's tiny. I don't actually, pencil is a better comparison. A regular pencil like that, and you get the spoon. The really shitty small spoon is this. I don't like to use this. A little bit bigger I like. And this here, this is not even a normal size of the spoon. So a normal size of the spoon would be the spoon that I have here. This would be like a normal size of the spoon that you would use for the soup. It's actually not big. Really, it's not big. It's really not big spoon. And this is a really small spoon. The thing is that you can take like this jobs on this tiny little spoon, tiny little spoon, and you would give to the father like this, and you have to wait. And then give him again, and you have to wait, and then give him maybe three times. Maybe you give him like this 4 times, and every time you have to wait to do that. And so what I did was, I didn't give this here that you see, nowhere near. I took like 1, 2, not even 3 of these small spoons of the liquid. very slowly like this, just a little bit I did. I thought that he's gonna get, that's all. I wanted to give him a little bit of the drink, because what I do is I move his legs and stuff like this, and so that should start his kidneys and stuff, circulation. And with a little liquid, I figure out that that might be actually good for him, although I would not be giving him this stuff because they told me not to give him this stuff. But my mother insists, and when my mother gives him a drink, he drinks, and my father complained to me, just as is evident from the video which I demonstrated you, that he is dehydrated, that he is thirsty. Yesterday he told me that he is not thirsty and that he spoke well, but it didn't look to me like. It is just as simple. It didn't look to me like. And so what it does when it comes to the stomach, that you cannot release yourself, that's basically when your kidneys are filled, when the food is stuck and so on and so forth. That's the kind of stuff that happens when you don't have enough liquid. It's called a liquid. It's called hydration, to hydrate, to give individual liquid so that it can go through him. So then in that case, yes, it's necessary to give him, obviously, the candles, I don't know what kind of stuff. Do I have to be smart to tell you that every time you give somebody odvajalo se imenuje, what allows you to empty your bowel, it's not very healthy for the intestines, is it? And that's exactly what they are doing. They are causing a serious long-term problem, which they already have created. Played with my father during MK Ultra, the same thing they were doing with me. It's a different kind of problems they were doing to my father. They were giving me also stuff during MK Ultra to release myself, whatever they were doing with me. These are not people. And let's go to the phone conversation that I have with my father, with my mother, who told me not to go to home for elderly people. Then I heard this crap based on MK Ultra that she does to excite me, really, anger me about how he's doing and so on. She was talking to somebody else. And then when I asked about how the father is doing, she would not share much information with me, really. And even the information that she mentioned me earlier, it would not match to what she stated earlier. And the best of all was she stated to me that she also takes these things to relieve her. So she now compares herself to the father. She was never tortured like father was at home for elderly people. She was never tortured. She was the one who participated, and she was the one who demanded from the father to go die to home for elderly people. That's a big fucking difference. She was the one who naterati force individual, that's her husband, to like this. You go, whether you like it or not, you go. And that's the attitude I don't like, when she starts giving me, saying to me that you're gonna hear this is basically laughingly, basically expressing total derision, like all of a sudden with a calm voice, with, you know, it's nothing, you know, it happens to me, it's nothing, you know, that kind of stuff. And sealed the deal. I told her, you know, when she started to talk to me about that this is, you know, like it's something completely normal, I told her, you know, you're gonna get the police one of the days at home for elderly people, and you're not gonna like it. I told her, don't talk to me about what is normal and what is not normal. She went on to tell me that when the father had fallen in 2018, just prior to my departure to the Poland, I did not even go to help him out. Well, the thing is that father did not want me absolutely anywhere near. This is the main reason. I didn't want to go absolutely anywhere near him. I assisted him here, I assisted him there. He went to the toilet, he locked himself, he wouldn't come out of the toilet. I had to find a way to actually open the key and get inside of the toilet and save my father from the toilet because he was half dead on the toilet, and get him in the bed, and so on and so forth. And he was a very independent person who did not wanted me to touch him. And so for the stuff that I was doing for him, he was very, very, very ungrateful. And really, I would not want to go anywhere near or have anything to do with it unless I would be required to assist him, unless I would be required to help him. So her comment was really, really disgusting. Deeply, deeply disturbing type of comment that many people would be set off with a comment like that I didn't give a fuck about the father when he had fallen down and stuff like this. This is a comment that she repeated. We yet have to learn what exactly happened to the father just before I left to the Poland, and even more importantly, what happened to the father when I left to Poland. There was some stuff I have spoken about that was involved in MK Ultra, and I would really, really love to come to the bottom about what really happened to the father. Why did the father just fell down? I was somebody knew that I would not even come close to the father, and it's when it actually happened. And I didn't pay any attention to the stuff I paid today, locking the doors and stuff like this. I was really, really careless, and father was not behaving properly. Psychiatrists were after me again, and it was one thing that led to another. I departed, and once I departed from here, this is what happened. But there is nothing I possibly could do. I had no such a strong proofs about MK Ultra. There's absolutely nothing that would allow me to stay under the circumstances as I was in 2018, with police, psychiatrists, cops working desperately to get me killed through the torture. I was on the brink of exhaustion through Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana, where they would continue to deliver me to stay and being distributed. They would come to pick me up at Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana Polje in all along, even after I was released in 2015. They, from Novo Mesto, they would continue to hijack me from home, to Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana Polje. And from within circle in Gorenska region, Ljubljana region, they continued to enforce torture. And the torture was bestial. The torture was so bad that through the sleep deprivation, honestly, my health was on the brink of complete burnout, complete exhaustion. In 2018, when I took off from here, if I wouldn't, I would be dead. So she said to me that I don't give a fuck about the father, basically. And there is a big difference, really, it's a big difference whether you go to the father to pose next to him, or you go to the father for a visit to rehabilitate, to work out with him, physically work out with him. The physical workout with my father, helping my father to remain somewhat vital, they acknowledge that as a torture at home for elderly people. Let me give you a translation of the audio recording about what happened today, because it set me off heavily. The one behind this phone call, the one behind this all the stuff that you're about to hear, was none other than Igor Juršić. That's a new director of Novo Mesto Police Station, who work along other directors, together with Andrej Štefanić and with other guys that engaged in this crime through Janez Ogulin, and of course also Anton Gulai, two directors. Let's go, and we're gonna have this translation of this audio. down below you're going to get the original video of father actually suggests that he's not dehydrated and so on, and he didn't. He needed a time to even get his shit together when I came and so on. It was a very bad situation. And, you know, so gently I exercised with him, such a stuff that I was really paying extreme attention so that he would not be overpressured or anything like that, you know. In fact, he wants to exercise. That I know de facto that, you know, they're playing with his stuff. They're not doing what they're supposed to, and they're doing the stuff they're not supposed to. Yeah, they continue to demand from me to only come whenever the mother is present, and mother only comes between 8 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock she is there. And it doesn't matter even if the father sleeps or whatever the fuck she is. She will not come to him in afternoon again, and she dismantled the car. Basically, she keeps the car without changing the oil. Is going now into the second year. She believes that I'm going to drive her around till I'm going to destroy the car, which is not going to happen. It's not even my car, it's the car from my father. And father took complete control over absolutely everything. Entire house, car, absolutely everything, money, everything. Because this is the type of hospitalization they perform on the father. That's how they have done. Let's go to the conversation I had with my mom. It goes like this. She's sleeping right now, and I really don't want to disturb her this hour. The telephone did not work, mine. So I called her back. She said, hello. I said, did you call me? Don't go to visit father because the father got a candle. Candle is this kind of stuff, that kind of stuff, odvajalo. I am going to translate this stuff for you so it's going to be properly translated. We're going to go through here. All right, there you go. Really, that doesn't work like this. You're gonna go here. A purgative, aperient, cathartic. I am not sure. Shit, I'm not sure if I did this properly. Translate it for you. Okay, let me see if I. Yeah, it looks like it's a purgative, odvajalo purgative. Laxative probably is the best. Yeah, I can relate to that. Laxative would be that would be a proper translation for this. Would be a laxative. No, this stuff is not healthy at all. None of this stuff is healthy. That's why I'm just not very happy about this. Yeah, maybe we can get, yeah, but Spanish is almost the same when it comes to this here. And I really don't know what other I can. Maybe Croatian, purgative, aperient, cathartic. Laxative would be okay. Laxative, I'll go with that one. He got a laxative, and it's not good for him to sit, to get up when he gets that. That's what mother tells me.
Kdo je to rekel, da bolj, od kje pa to zdaj?
I said, who told you this? I told her, who gave you this kind of information that it's better for him to just lay down on the bed and stuff like that? Who told you this? I told her. Because the type of exercise that I do, only moving his legs, it's nothing really. You don't have to get up. But yeah, I don't oppose to that stuff. I just want to know who stated this stuff, where the information is coming from, this kind of stuff. Mother repeats to me, she says to me, Sharaufanye, he's having a pain inside of the stomach. So my mother said they gave him a laxative because he's got a pain in the stomach. Yeah. Sharaufati means like he has a belly ache. Yeah, belly ache. That's why. Because he got a belly ache, you give him a laxative? Okay, all right. I just wanted to know who said that.
Oče se ne počuti dobro.
Oče je dobil svečko za odvajanje blata in ga šraufa po trebuhu.
So I ask these questions because I want to know in detail about this stuff. This isn't going to go away. I don't have plan on going away anytime soon. I plan on getting this stuff through, follow through with the law, regardless of it. His name is Mitya Weber. I did spoke about this individual. This garbage here with the doctoral title is a husband from my niece, Urshka Golob Weber, and this individual death threatened me with. Literally, once the father is dead, if I would continue to bother mother with his death, this guy death threatened me. This is garbage. This is trash. He had a lot of issues with me, such as making me homeless and all kinds of stuff during MK Ultra. And so, yeah, it's a proper time and proper place to discuss this issue also. So if I repeat this stuff to you here. Father obtained a candle for laxative. Laxative basically to release the shit, basically. You know, I don't know. The hard stuff. He is also having belly ache, aching of his stomach. And he doesn't wish to get up. He doesn't wish to get up. I am going to be moving his, I'm going to give him a little bit massage of his legs, and that's it. I asked my mom, are the two of you outside?
No.
Because I want to come to the father, no matter what, and see it myself. And she says, no, we are inside. She said, we are inside. Which is kind of insane, because she says to me, don't come to father because father got a candle and this and that. And so maybe the proper way to tell me is, don't come to the father because father doesn't feel good. He's not going to go outside. We're going to remain upstairs on the upper floor where his room is because of the problems with the stomachs, etc., etc. And she doesn't explain anything about that stuff. She is just going from one corner to another and is now explaining me about how the two are inside of the room. I thought that the two are outside.
Yeah.
And I say, you're not gonna, I'm not saying this because I would want to bring him outside. That's not what I want. I just want to establish the situation, what exactly the situation is. So I asked, you're not going to bring him out?
Ne, ker je na posli.
Okay, so as long as I know, not because he is on the bed. I'm not happy about it, but hey.
Pro, addio.
I said, okay, goodbye. I'm not happy about that stuff, but what can you do?
Ne, ker je na posli.
Okay, so I am just gonna. So this was the end of the phone call. This took place on September the 4th, 2025. Mother tells me not to go visit father because he got a laxative, doesn't feel good inside of the stomach, got a belly ache, and would not want me to come to the father. Basically, she's saving me a trip by letting me know that father is in his room. She's going to give him a little massage, and that's all there is to it. That's what I get as an information. She doesn't tell about who told anything, whatever. All right, fine. The next thing is same day, September 4, 2025, mother comes home. So this was
Pro, addio.
So now you can hear her at home. She's on the telephone with somebody else.
Odvajalo za blato in ga šraupa po trebuhu in je sestra rekla, da bo še, da ga ne matram, da ne ostane.
Okay, now we get another piece of information. Mother tells me at home that father is just not feeling well. He's got a belly ache and wanted to remain in the bed, etc., etc. And it was a nurse who told her that it's better for him to remain inside of the bed. A nurse told her that. They gave him the laxative, that kind of stuff, the stuff that I explained earlier, that he has a problem with getting, not with the urine, but with a bigger need. And that's how he got that. That's how they gave him this kind of laxative. And I'm okay. I go away, and basically what I do is I finish the audio recording. This is audio recorded, obviously. I finished the audio recording. Let me see if that's that. No, not really. I still come back. This is still the same audio recording. So I'm very disappointed that he didn't get on a cart, on a wheelchair, I should say. And she says, no, nothing. We were only on the bed, mother tells me. He only exercised as much as he wanted to exercise because he had a problem in the stomach. Zdaj pa, now mother tells me that I already know. Now this is where I get disturbed.
Vzamem za
Basically, before we get to that stuff, it's very important for me to declare a few things. A mother doesn't want father to exercise. Mother is doing absolutely everything for father not to exercise. I did not release the videos, but the videos are clearly indicating that mother does not want father to exercise. Mother is also doing, based on MK Ultra scenarios, the stuff that she shouldn't be doing. Keeping him on an upper floor garage area, driving him back and forth to the graveyard, and then just spinning him in a parking lot up above on a second floor, right in front of the building. Noise, parking lot, it's crazy. Nobody's doing this kind of stuff. And this is the kind of stuff that police was doing with me. They were driving me crazy in respect to this stuff, instigating that my mother tortures father, that nobody is doing that kind of stuff. They pointed me the noise from the train. They pointed me the noise from the traffic, from the cars and stuff like this. Taking him to the graveyard is also negative. I agree with it. And if I ask her for me to take him downstairs toward the little stream there is so that we can do exercise, my mother has immense problems with it. She doesn't want absolutely any of that stuff. So that makes me think, believe, regardless of whatever police had to say about this. Because what police wanted to do is tensions. And my mother would not be dancing up there on the second floor and doing this kind of crazy shit if she alone would not want to have tensions. You see, they divided the game on father's willingness to cooperate with me on exercise, and my mother portraying herself as somebody who does deliberately the stuff that she's not supposed to. But in reality, all this stuff was coordinated also during MK Ultra when they were creating this kind of tensions in me, when they delivered me drugged up over there, and that they subjected me to this type of, paranoia, basically, on how you should respond to this and so on and so forth. In reality, what they were looking for is tensions that would get out of hand and would create incident through which they could likely interfere. This lady here, this one here, whom I mentioned a little bit earlier, and who was meeting with Ursula von der Leyen, is directly connected to the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje. Very, very close with the psychiatrist from Ljubljana Polje and Novo Mesto Police. This is a social worker from Home for Elderly People, whom I came to consolidate, ask, obtain her view on situation with my mother. My mother grabbing herself here for the spleen, that kind of stuff is actually, sorry, on this side here is just seeing how my mother suffers from pain. That's what she was doing. She was walking back and forth and hold herself like this. This is not what we want to do. Especially because of what I described. This was the issue that was involved during MK Ultra, through which my mother was, like she was giving her last breath out. This is what went on during MK Ultra, and I bet that she had problems. My mother also threatened that if I will not care about her, that she will go and drink coffee and do this stuff herself deliberately and stuff like this that she's going to do. But what exactly have I done to my mom other than wanting to get my father home? The answer is nothing really. I treat her like a queen. She was absolutely doing everything possible to even block me, stop me from taking her care, from providing her a transport to the father, was making sure that she would all the time get into the confrontation with me with absolutely everything that they did during MK Ultra. She was all the time doing nasty stuff, so that I would ask her a question which would then use as an opportunity to develop into disagreement and blame me for not wanting to go with me to Home for Elderly People, basically not wanting from me to provide a transport for her to home for elderly people. This is the lunacy that you police and politicians have created here. Yes, it's completely fucked up. It's completely insane. Obviously, that I'm a type of journalist that you don't like somehow, very much so. And this here is what we are talking about. We are talking about today about Ursula von der Leyen. This is a video dedicated to the Ursula von der Leyen. Ursula von der Leyen was in special talks with her. What kind of talks, I don't know, because I'm still trying to get a hold of this lady, and I'm so unsuccessful since the video which I posted to you there, when my mother started to display pain in her spleen area. This video actually is tracing to this video is actually placing, this also involved her behind the bars, in the jail, all kinds of stuff like this. If you will do this and so on, I will rather drink coffee and die before going inside of the prison and so on. With literally a receptionist from Home for Elderly People threatening me, with a social worker, the one I demonstrated the card, threatening me and so on. These people are definitely not in the right state of mind. They believe that things get done like this, or things don't get done like this. It doesn't work like this. I want to be exact about the date. When I video recorded this one here, which is posted to the internet already. Here. You see, loading him with the coffee, we have a fight immediately when I come. Before we even go exercise, do anything, we have already arguments, fight. We spoke about this shit that you're not going to give him coffee. We did spoke about that stuff. Anyhow, September the 3rd, since September the 3rd, 2025, I'm doing my best to get a hold of this lady here. Everything I possibly can to discuss this issue, because I worry about my mom, about this issue here, She was not available. I waited for her. Not a day when I inquire on September the 3rd, not a second day, not the phone calls she wouldn't answer, which I made on September the 3rd. I called her twice, no. Yesterday I stopped by the Home for Elderly People, wanted to talk to her, no. Yesterday was the September the 4th. Given that I'm doing this under the September the 5th, which already is early morning hours of September the 6th, but this is the video about the September the 5th anyhow. And today also, when I called her on several occasions, therefore on September the 5th, let's just say it's a September the 5th, she would simply not answer the telephone. How the hell do you get a hold of this lady so that you can make an appointment and have a conversation in respect to the stuff that went on during MK Ultra, or I'm going to say force a mother to act responsibly, rather. She alone suggested me that if the mother would do stupid shit, that she would talk to her in respect to even oil change. This one here. She seems is not doing shit. That's why Commission for Anti-Torture, Human Degradation, etc., maybe you continue to watch this video and maybe you're going to move your butt, because it's going to be all about you now and Ursula von der Leyen. It's going to be about these issues. Let's just continue with this recording here. This is still recorded in a post phone call during a meeting encounter with my mom. She said to me, you know what she said to me, and it pissed me off. she said to me, I already know, yes, I already know what it's like, as if I forced my father to go down. I did not. I'm very worried about how father is doing. And, if I just wanted to know what exactly happened. And she says, I already know how it is if you don't feel good or you don't go to the toilet, because I take it by myself. And this is really not about her. I really don't care about how she feels, what she feels. I ask her politely, and for asking her politely about how she is doing, and gestures to please reduce the coffee for her own sake, 2 days ago, I was given the sign like this: you're mentally ill. You are mentally ill. And she's doing this stuff in return for good. They give her good. You're mentally ill. You get tired of a course of time being basically told like this off. It's not very nice. She has a doctor. She has a physician. She has a place she can go to consult these issues. I worry more about the father. I don't have a place to go myself to go and check for the things I reported and said it's nothing. Everything is normal, including the spine. Everything is normal. Everything is normal. I have nothing where I can go to or do anything. And father is over there at home for elderly people because of her. So, you're not he. You got him, and he is in there because of you. And I really need to know how he's doing, This is like pre-recorded stuff that she gives me here. It's like you would press on the recorder, and it's based on MK Ultra, designed to anger me, and played out, just like this.
Ker jaz že vem, kako to, ko samo vzamem za prebavo, pa ni prijetno.
Ja, jaz že vem, kako je to, kar sama vzamem za prebavo in ni prijetno. I already know how it is, because I take this by myself, and it's not very pleasant. No, I don't actually think that kind of a stuff could possibly be pleasant. The question is the stuff they're doing with my father, and the question is the stuff that I mentioned earlier. If you don't like to change the diapers, that doesn't mean that that you have the right not to give him enough liquid. Because he's going to poop in the diapers, and you're going to have to clean him again, and so on and so forth. And there is a lot of questions, like why he is allowed to drink coffee. Drinking coffee deteriorates his intestines. It was established as extremely bad for him. They poisoned him with the coffee. My father is receiving the food through the feeding tube. He doesn't eat food. He has a feeding tube attached to the stomach, and she's loading him with the coffee and stuff like this. Probably that's not a very good idea. And the best about it is I have no access to the father. I have no way to know what they give him, how much they give him, what goes on. I have no right to enter the building without the presence of my mother. And he did not feel good in the morning. That's too fucking bad, because we don't have a way to come in afternoon to see him. My mother, after all, is the one that decided to go to him very early in the morning, no? That's the Irish song. Very early in the morning. There's a lot of problems with it, yes. And this shit goes on for 2.5 years. There's a lot of problems with it. For 3 years. It's a lot of problems with it. It's a lot of mental problems they created to me with this shit. I just listen, I say, yeah, I said, it's not pleasant, you say, huh? It's not pleasant. Yeah, it's bullying. She's bullying with this stuff. It's not pleasant. Yeah, it's not pleasant. I said, it's not going to be pleasant for you when I get you a police over there at home for elderly people.
Tebi Bog, če tebi je skus
Bog,
prijetno.
policija tam prišla, bomo se...
Ma daj, nehaj ti s tvojo pizdovo policijo.
When I tell her I will get the police at home for elderly people, she disregards me like, fuck off, basically. Because the police is the one that is doing that stuff. So she feels even more confident about it when I mention the police.
Če bo kaj boš v pizni.
Ne, ti naj govor kot prijetno, pa neprijetno, ker tu se srane se ti naredila.
I told her, don't talk to me about what is pleasant and what is not pleasant because you did this stuff.
To je produkt tvojega dela.
I told her, it's a product of your work, is what the father is now. This here is, I'm going to amplify this stuff. She says that father had nothing out of me. I was of no use to him. We're gonna amplify this stuff a little bit like this. I was of no use, no good, no use. Not for my father, not for my mother, she says, for a single human being you have done nothing good in your entire lifetime.
Ja.
I only tell my mom, yep. When he needed the help, you disappeared. You didn't give a fuck when the father needed the help. You disappeared. I asked my mom, when he needed the help, I disappeared. Is that so? And she says, yes. When he broke his head. When he fell down, when he broke his head, the old men have fallen. Go to raise him up. It was a very, very, very smart, intelligent decision for me to make, to not go into the father's room. I would not go to the father's room. I would not go anywhere near father. Deliberately so. I already told you the reasons why. I did inform mother though that he had fallen down. And I told mom, go and lift him up. Because this was the order, was to stay away from the father. And that's exactly what I did.
Well, this is...
That was 2018.
Yeah,
I told my mom I didn't want to argue with her. I pointed her the telephones that I have on the table. I told her, you see this here? Everything is being recorded. She says, yeah, of course. She says, it's the right thing you are recording. I told my mom, actually at this point in time, I was so angry that I just went away. I told her, you're not going to get any kind of comments from me, I told her. Actually, Igor Yurshich didn't get any kind of comments from me. That's the only thing I did, was I audio recorded this stuff, and that pretty much was it. And this is going to summarize for today about how things are, where the whole thing is heading to. I'm going to play you one more time this audio recording. right down below you're going to get original audio recording, and you're also going to get the video from September the 4th, 2025. I am not allowed to visit father unless in the presence of the mother. I'm not allowed to enter the building because I video recorded myself with a father doing exercise on an upper floor, which were identical exercise police was doing with my father during MK Ultra when I was delivered to the father to at home for elderly people, where they would have my father, tortured my father and me, basically. That's the way it is. That's what you get. Audio you're going to get below, and you're going to get also original video from September the 4th, 2025. Let me demonstrate you also how the father started to grasp for the air, because I gave him like at once maybe 3 spoons, small spoons. This is compared to my lips. That's how big this spoon is. This is the spoon. That's the size of the spoon. When they had me on the court during MK Ultra, the judge even required from the father to demonstrate that he is being choked if he take just 3 drops, or almost 3 drops, small, really small amount of water chokes him. Like I said, I would prefer not to even give him the water. If I only knew that he gets what he needs, but the way I seen him, drowsy, sleepy, tired, exhausted, that is a classic of lack of liquid. And when he gets a liquid, he gets going, basically. Like, most of the people that, however, are active and so on, that's how people get up in the mornings, by drinking something to get the fluids going, basically, internal organs. So let me play you the audio one more time. This was the video about little Ursula von der Leyen, who would go to Home for Elderly People to negotiate this crime, and even gesture me, hey, contact the Commission for Against the Torture and Human Degradation, European Commission. Also, not only in respect to yourself, but also in respect to your father. If this is not fucking lunacy, I don't know what the fuck it is. Here is the audio. I'm going to play you one more time, like I stated. This is just 6 minutes long audio. It won't be difficult to get through this audio. No. Is something that I failed here? Yes, I did. Here.
To je produkt tvojega dela.
A tak možda. Gleda koga dobijo, kako največji govno, kar ga je.
Ja, in dovolj, kot prijetno, pa ne...
Dej, nekaj prijetno.
Ni prijetno. Ni prijetno, pravno.
Okay, so I think just about here is when it's the second part of recording. This is created out of 4 recordings. These are actually 3 recordings. These are the recordings. These are the original recordings right here. In 3 pieces. Somewhere over there it's the 3rd part. That's all there is. That's all I wanted to report about this stuff. Now what I want to do is I want to go and play you this audio one more time, and like I said, below you're going to get this is what happened in a parenthesis today. Now these are morning hours already of the September the 6th 2025. However, this goes under the September the 5th 2025, when mother told me don't come to visit the father. Father does not feel good. Okay, and the video that I'm going to provide you below, and this out next to this audio, this is the audio from the I'm going to write you all this stuff down. From September the 5th, 2025. The video, however, goes, I did not publish one. It goes into the September the 4th of 2025. That's basically the day before yesterday, September the 4th, right? And here you have the video, which is September the 3rd, 2025. My mother started to erode my patience away from me with this kind of stuff.
Halo?
Kaj si me klicala?
Sem te klicala, ni treba hoditi, da tukaj roče je tu v svečku in je boljše, da ne ostane.
Kdo je to rekel? Kdo je to rekel, da bolj? Odkje je pa to zdaj?
Ker ga šraufa potrebu.
Oče se ne počuti dobro.
Oče je tu v svečku za odvajanje blata in ga šraufa potrebu in ne bi gustal, jaz bom te razli malo noge, pa tu moram zbavati.
Kje si od zone sta?
Ne, noter.
A noter sta?
Ja.
Ne boš ga pripeljala ven?
Ne, ker je na posli.
So this was the end of the phone call. This took place on September the 4th, 2025. Mother tells me not to go visit father because he got a laxative, doesn't feel good inside of the stomach, got a belly ache, and would not want me to come to the father. Basically, she's saving me a trip by letting me know that father is in his room. She's going to give him a little massage, and that's all there is to it. That's what I get as an information. She doesn't tell about who told anything, whatever. All right, fine. The next thing is same day, September 4, 2025, mother comes home.
Prav, addio.
Za zlato in ga šal kot trebuhu in je sestra rekla, da boljše, da ga ne matra in da ne ostane.
Aha. Nisi ga sploh na voziček, ne veš?
Ne, na voziček ne, samo na pošti smo. Kukar je lahko potreboval, se ne ve, kukar je. Prav pa po trebuhu, pa ga želim malo smatrati. Ker je živenko kutoko samo vzamem za prebavo, pa ni prijetno.
Aha. Ni prijetno, pravim. Ni prijetno. Kako prijetno?
Tebi bo, se tebi je skus prijetno.
Kako je tam prišel, bomo se...
Ne, daj nekaj ti svojo pizdovo policijo.
Prijetno
bo. Če bo boš vtis.
Ne, ti naj dovolj kot prijetno, pa ne prijetno, ker tu se sranje se ti nazdela. To je produkt tvojega dela.
Je. Ali tak možda. Koga dobil, da ti največji bolno, kar ga je. Kako je od tebe? Kako je? Kaj? turist mogoče, potovanje. Ki ni še v življenju človeku dobrega naredil.
Ja.
Ko je rabo pomoč, se ti zginil. Se ti jebalo, samo da si šel.
Ja, rado pomoč sem jaz zginil.
Ja.
Kdaj sem jaz zginil?
Takrat, ko si glavo razbil.
Takrat, ko si glavo razbil? Ja.
Se še spomniš, ta star je padel, 5 ga dvigan.
Lej, tele se snema vse.
Ja, seveda. Se prav, da se.
Ja. Ne bom nobenih komentarjev delal.
Se ni treba.
Yeah, mother actually says, it's actually worse. Mother says that when he fall down, break his head, I disappeared. She's saying basically you didn't give a fuck about, you went to Poland. She did this already before, many times she repeated me these words. She gestured that I didn't give a fuck about the father. To her, the stuff that went on with the psychiatrist, of which main part she was, also together with the father, who was crazy enough to follow this ritual of death. To her, psychiatry was just nothing. For her, the psychiatry was just a joke. Getting me killed just about any day in 2018 was rather a really, really simple thing. We'll never forget criminal by the name Zajcek from Novo Mesto police station who said, with the investigators, he said that it's more difficult to grab me than fish that is Spolska ryba, that gets out of your hands because it's got this this protective layer on it that protects her from parasites and stuff like this, that is very sleazy. They complained to me, claiming that every time when they try to grab me that I simply disappear. And so this is my own mother. Usually moms would be happy for the kids, for the sons, daughters. In situations, under circumstances like this, they manage to gather something, proofs, and go ahead, get ahead, liberate themselves from certain debt. But she actually resents me this. This is very, very bad stuff. Very, very bad stuff. But this stuff was so many times repeated to me. It's designed to, at one point to trigger you. And, so that you say something back, so that, or do something, that kind of stuff. This is like Igor Jurčić will be talking to me. It's like I hear Igor Jurčić, not my mom. Igor Jurčić is talking through my mom everywhere. It's all MK Ultra garbage with the police they rehearsed, harassed, bullied with, intimidated with. Not even a psychiatrist, Peter Kapsch. Igor Jurčić was crazier than psychiatrist Kapsch. I don't know which one of the two. Both were really insane. Yes, this was the audio recording from September the 5th, 2025. And down below, you're going to find a video from September the 4th, 2025. I did not demonstrate you again. I forgot, I failed to demonstrate you how the father had a problem with when I gave him to drink. Wait a minute.
And he does.
Shoes. We go exercise, fixing shoes, and so you're gonna have the video down below that you can see exactly the stuff that we did. We do very light exercise like this. This is what we do. Father is very positive. He's happy about it. He's very happy of my visit. And I continue to rehabilitate him little by little. Aha, here is the part, the bad part. I take the glass and I give him really almost nothing to drink, and he starts to choke. That's very bad. And that's too much for him. You see, this is the kind of stuff. This is what I did wrong. You get to watch this on the video. I discuss this issue. Yeah, that's a very bad stuff. I did it on September the 4th, 2025. But that's just a little bit. But yeah, this is how sensitive he is in respect to this stuff. And when this happened, I knew they're going to do something to him. I was 100%, I was just waiting for shit to happen. Why? Because it's something that got to do with MK Ultra. They paid special attention to anything that would be, they would create the problem out of. Anything that I would do wrong, they would multiply. Not that I would do wrong, but anything that I did so far that was something that it was maybe a little mistake, something, they multiplied that into problems. Because they wanted to portray me as a problem. This is why. So I knew that father is going to be in bad shape, and that's exactly what took place today. When I wanted to come to visit him, he did not feel good. Had nothing to do with me, but it definitely had with hydration. He's dehydrated, does not get enough liquid. People alone, the workers, staff, complained to me about being forced, changing the diapers and stuff like this. That bothered them and so on. Cleaning him bothered them. So, that's all there is to it, folks. Here is the date and time we're going to do. Right down below, you get to see the video. That's all there is to it. Father was very happy of my visit, everything fine. I'm just really unhappy that that's how it ended up today.